even an employee of company shops. I'm just an owner like yourselves. But I've been chatting, or the board has been chatting, and wanted to pass along a few things that would be helpful to know if we'd like to get the place next door open this year. How many of you would like to have company shops open this year? That's what I thought. Yeah. So to make that happen, we need more people like us, other owners that are willing to help out in one way or the other. So if you can do one of three things to help out company shops, we're going to be able to open, in this year, 2010. We certainly hope so. To make that happen, we need to have more owners. And so if you, as an owner, can recruit 2 people that aren't owners to be owner, that'll be one thing you can do to step us on your way. The second thing that you might do if you don't have 2 people to recruit, is that we need more owners to be investors. Now, this was a little bit confusing to me since I don't really handle the finances in my own family that often. Then when I heard about investing, I thought that was more of a metaphor, like when I say, well, I want to invest in a new TV, or I want to invest in a trip to the beach. But this is actual investing where you give money and then after some time elapses, you get that money back plus interest. And so unlike when you become an owner where there's this $100 to join and that goes towards the thing, this is actually loaning your money to company shops. Now, why do we need to do that? Well, as you may have heard, it's really tough to get a loan these days from the large banks. And they tend to charge fairly high interest rates, and if you're putting money into a savings account, you get a pretty low interest rate back. But if you loan your money to yourself as a member of the company shops, if you loan that money to the organization, you get a return on that. You will likely get a higher interest rate depending on how much you loan to company shops, and the company shops won't have to take out a high interest rate loan to get that. Likewise, the bank needs you to show that you're an interested participant to even get that loan or the rest of it in the first place. By having people show up here tonight and participating, that's sort of that first step to show that there's enough of a community support to make this go. And we certainly have the memberships for it, but we need a higher conversion rate. That at other co-ops that have started, you're typically looking at about 1 in every 5 owner is an investor. But this year isn't like every other year. We're looking at far less than that. We're looking at like 5% or less. 1 in every 20 people right now that are owners are investors, and we need to have more than that if we're ever going to open the doors next door. I think we can do that, but it's a matter of getting that message out there. So get your friends to become owners. If you're an owner and you're not an investor yet, seriously consider that, or if you don't have the money in your bank, find a friend of yours that has the money in the bank, make them become an owner. Tell them about the food up here, because the third thing, the reason that we all have different reasons for being here. Maybe you like good food, that you want to be able to buy food that you know where it came from. Maybe you want to invest in the local economy, or maybe you just want downtown to have a little bit more business than it has now. I would suggest talking to people at your table to find out why are they owners, because it may be a different reason than the reason that you're an owner. So as you're eating, have that little conversation. The third thing that you can do is volunteer, like how I'm volunteering now to talk to you guys. But honestly, what I enjoyed more was at the beer and brats, that I showed up as a volunteer for beer and brats, and I didn't know what I was signing up for. Pretty soon I'm like, the trash is overflowing, so let's haul that out. They need water, let's do that. But it was the real deal when I got to volunteer to hand out free beer. That was a lifelong dream. And I guarantee you will become people's friends by volunteering. And especially if you're the one that's at the tap pulling it and pouring beer faster than people can drink it. So talk to other people that are just interested in building a community of other people like you, that have the same beliefs about what we should have in that building next door. The reason we're having this dinner tonight is so that we can have these conversations, because the music was very good at Beer Brats, but it didn't facilitate conversation. We want you to talk to the other owners and to come up with ideas how we might get more owners and how more owners might become investors and how we can figure out what we can do to open it this year. Okay? If you have ideas, I strongly suggest you send them to Sarah and Nate, who actually are, raise your hands because you're in both rooms. Send them to Sarah and Nate, talk to them aside if you've got ideas so that we can get this open. And thanks again for coming out tonight.